How do you feel about him on a personal level? I know you hang out with him a lot, if you don't mind me asking.
I think he's very genuine. I think he's overall the America First movement is having a net positive impact. I think it's shifting things in the right direction in terms of political discourse in the country. I think a great example of the success that the America First movement has had is the fact that Charlie Kirk openly talks about the anti-white agenda and about the nuclear family and things that he wasn't talking about before. And the conservative movement overall, I think, has shifted more, traditionalist and racially conscious than it was just a few years ago.
What do you think about Ollie Alexander and all the dirt that Miles putting out? It seemed kind of nasty, and frankly, it seems kind of true as well. What do you think about that?
So Ollie and I, we used to talk in 2017 because back then, I still like Milo. I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. I always thought his brand was pretty entertaining. Him being like this flamboyant,
Well,
walking
well,
contradiction.
more specifically about what was said about Ollie Alexander, not necessarily about Milo himself.
Oh, well, what are you referring to about Ollie? I mean, I know
So
that.
there seems to be a lot of proof of Ollie being, a bona fide pedophile and
That's a
homosexual,
hundred.
and he seems to be Nick's closest ally.
Um, there's definitely some credibility to that for sure. I have a personal experience with that actually. In 2017, Milo, or sorry, not Milo, Ali was talking to me on Snapchat and trying to solicit some stuff and I don't know how much I should get into that, but I mean,
No, I mean, I think enough is out there that you wouldn't even need to get into it, but it's just, verifying it.
You want to get into it beyond what you just said? I mean, you just claimed that or implied that he was soliciting sex when you were, no, I mean, I hate to even make this distinction, but it should be made. I mean, you were not like 5, but you were like 16.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm 21 now, so
okay.
That kind of puts it in perspective.
He was making totally inappropriate, but maybe illegal, but at the very least creepy, right. Comments towards you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best way to describe it would just be sort of inappropriate, I guess, to be talking to like a younger guy when you're, I don't know how old Ollie is, but definitely
in his 30s, presumably.
Yeah, exactly. Saying stuff like I should fly out to Texas and be his intern and tell my parents that I was going to a swim meet or something. Those kind of jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair to say that that's inappropriate and just pretty. Yeah, definitely. Wow.
I do want to add the caveat. I do want to add the caveat that I trust that Nick knows what he's doing and that he's working with people that he needs to be working with. And of course, nobody's perfect. Everybody in the movement and everybody in general. It's like the expression, the person without sin, throws the first stone sort of thing. So I don't want to be too critical of who he's associating with and working with, because
I don't know how deep. Sorry, Richard, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but there is a difference between, we've fallen short of the mark in many ways, and someone's continuing to engage in criminal activity. I mean, saying that we're all sinful, even from a Christian perspective, is not just like a get out of jail free card.
Nick has a lot of unsavory characters.
Yeah,
and
I
also,
mean, it's different than saying, "Oh my gosh, I had an affair," and "Oh gosh, it destroyed our marriage. It was such a mistake," and like, "I want to have sex with 14-year-old boys right now, and I'm
Yeah.
repeatedly doing that. Like, from a Christian perspective, those are like really different, and obviously from our perspective, those are very different. I mean, it's just one is okay and one is not.
And as you attested to, Smiley, it seems like Nick is content with this character around his, let's say, 16, 17-year-old audience, you know? Because clearly he's still doing it, and it's not like a fake threat. It seems like it's an imminent threat to his own audience. So it's just a little strange to me, hypocritical.
Well, at the time, I was sort of naive, and I didn't have the connections, and I wasn't as experienced with the people in this political circle as I am now. So I was kind of I didn't see anything unusual at the time, but looking back on it, like I said, it was probably inappropriate. That's why I don't really talk to Ollie anymore. But I mean, it's not, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, to Nick, or I mean, like I said, it's not really my place to be like, oh, why are you working with this guy and associating with this guy? I mean, the criticisms are valid. I'll just say that.
Why not? Why
I
is
think
it not
your place. Yeah, I mean, if it's not your place, then who's going to do it?
Being naive makes you a target, man.
But and let me just say this. I mean, I don't want to beat up on Smiley. I mean, like, to whatever extent there was a crime here, I mean, Smiley is the victim, and he's come forward and shared his story. But I mean, I mean, like, dude, this is not okay. This is not okay. And like, Nick's still hanging out with this guy. I mean, like, there might be young, frankly, young men under 18 now that he's doing this to.
Well, I think Nick is 100% aware. I don't think there's any way he couldn't be aware of that background, because Milo, around the time of the last AFPAC conference, was putting together a list of people who had these experiences with Ali, and I don't know where he was going with that, and I don't think anything came of it. But Milo was talking to me about that a little bit, kind of trying to get my insight into that whole thing. And I'm sure
it should be known too that Ollie Alexander is a known criminal. He's not just some guy. This is someone who he has a track record of doing some pretty nasty things in the past.
It was like credit card fraud or something, wasn't it?
No, he robbed a car, and
I think it was.
The guy. I mean, this is okay. This is what I would say. All right, it's like, okay,
doesn't he believe also that he is he's a time traveler or something? Like, isn't the guy like just verifiably insane?
I would say so.
Yeah, that's definitely an unsavory history with the car robbery and everything. That's that's pretty concerning.
Well, okay, I mean, this is what I would say, and this is something that's kind of an unanswered question, because I don't fully understand Nick, and as I've said before, I'm, over the last 3 to 6 months, I've been kind of more ambivalent about Nick. I'm okay. I'm okay. We're in such different trajectories, and we're not like, collaborating or something. It's just kind of like better not to.
We're not fighting for the same butts.
Yeah, so to speak. This is what I would say is that, okay, let's say that we needed to win a political campaign. And so we're just like, Mark is about to, or Mark would never run for office. Hypothetical speaking here, Mark is about to win office. And so we're just like, all right, fuck it. We're hiring Roger Stone. I don't care if this guy he is a pervert. I don't care if he's just totally just disgusting and whatever. Like, we're just hiring this bastard so that he'll win us this campaign, and then we'll hold our nose and we'll get rid of him. That's one thing. Now, maybe that's defensible. Maybe it's not. It's debatable. Another thing to say that I've noticed is that people who often have like a similar personality type or complementary personality types, a top and a bottom, or a narcissist and a pushover or something, they'll be attracted to one another. So it would be something else if we were like, we have this political campaign going, and we're all perverts. So why don't we get Roger Stone involved as well? And you're kind of like, you have this affinity towards these types of people, and you can justify it to yourself by saying that like these are brilliant geniuses or whatever. But like, he's not. I mean, Ali Akbar is not a genius, and he brings in such baggage that however he could help you strikes me as dubious in comparison with the baggage. And so this is one thing I've noticed. I mean, and I was saying this before about, the BAP or Greg Johnson type figure, but the other thing I noticed of the alt-right, like they were all kind of botched in some weird way, like they were all gay or a former cam whore slut, or they all had some like issue. And is that a feature or is that a bug, I think is the question. Like, is it that we tolerate the fact that you have this, you're gay, or you have a criminal record, or you're a former prostitute or whatever, or is it that we want that, and that's how we in a weird way kind of trust you, because we're kind of all we're as thick as thieves. We've all got something on the other one, or we're kind of mutually attracted to one another through psychology. And that's what I'm asking here. I mean, again, I'm not in the business of like just jumping on Fuentes and hating on him or something. I'm kind of out. Life's too short. But at the same time, like, you have a political campaign, and it's Milo, Nick, Ali Alexander. Like, it's just kind of like, wow, like, were there no heterosexuals available? I mean, it's like you build a baseball team and like all 9 starters are pedophiles. It's just kind of like, was it that these are the best you could get, or was it that you wanted to create a pedophile baseball team? I'm beginning to kind of wonder about, you see my point here.
So Ali Alexander's changed his name, was trained to be a priest, and his charges were felony property theft and credit card abuse charges from 2007 and 2008. So this is like an all-around slimy guy to begin with. Criminal
Low
record
class.
Notwithstanding. Yeah.
I'll put this too, like,
low
just
class.
like, put another way. I mean, you talking about it's not your place, Smiley. Like, I mean, listen, you can bet, like, if Richard and Mark got on here and announced on one of these calls, hey guys, special guest Vegas in August, we're gonna have Ali Alexander. You can believe, like, I mean, me and probably several others on this call will be like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, what is this? And I mean, like, if there weren't satisfactory answers, like I would just go find a new group and like a new kind of leader.
Well,
So I mean, like, yeah,
from...
like you can respect hierarchy and whatnot, and like I think you should. I mean, like, at the same time, like I trust Richard and Mark's judgment on things, and I don't, like, even on things that like I might not totally agree with, like I don't question them because I do trust them, and like I just think like, like this doesn't seem detrimental. But I mean, like, at the same time, like, you are kind of like you can accept being part of a hierarchy and being part of a group, but you have autonomy over your own choices and your own like presence and like how you invest your time and your energy. And I mean, like, if this guy is bringing around some like unsavory characters, as I think you very charitably put it, you should absolutely look into that. And I mean, like, especially when you've kind of been victimized by it. So anyway, I mean, like, I hope we're kind of giving you some confidence, just kind of giving you some confidence to kind of look at things here.
Right. Those would definitely be very well-placed criticisms. What Richard was saying earlier about whether when you're building a political team, if you're seeking out these people, or if this is just the sort of people that these, projects sort of tend to attract, I think it's probably more the latter. I think politics probably just attracts, unfortunately, people who have a lot of problems, let's say,
So
Yeah.
So I think Ollie is someone who isn't just, a criminal and a bad person and probably a pedophile. He's also completely antithetical to what Nick is supposed to believe in. Ollie comes from a very multiracial kind of populist Steve Bannon type background, and that's what he espouses. So Nick associates him for what reason? You have to ask that. Is it a
I'm not,
payback for all the time that he gave Nick during Stop the Steal? Like, what is it exactly?
I'm not exactly sure what he specifically brings to the table. I know it's something to do with the project he's working on with Ye. And even if I did, I don't think I would probably be at liberty to say that. I don't think it would be appropriate to say, but I can only assume there has to be something. He does have a lot of connections. I know that Ollie is very well connected, as is Milo. I mean, we all have to remember that Milo got Marjorie Taylor Greene to the last AFBAT conference.
Yes.
That's basically what I can assume. I don't really have a whole lot beyond that, honestly.
He also called her a gorilla woman recently, and turned on her.
They've had a falling out. Yeah, it's unfortunate because she's like a household name in the conservative movement. That was a pretty legitimizing thing. It's unfortunate that they couldn't maintain a healthy relationship. But it'll be interesting to see who he brings to the next one. Nobody thought someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene would show up there, so that was a pretty big deal.
Does MTG
just
look
add
down
this?
on him?
It seems
that
like
kind of turn into a disaster in a way. I mean, like, I don't know. This is on a different subject. I mean, I've said I think everyone can understand what I'm implying with my earlier comments. Do you happen to have pedophiles in a baseball team, or are you trying to create a baseball team full of pedophiles? It's a major distinction. But like, isn't the MTG thing just? Isn't that? It hasn't that been kind of ultimately bad? It's not good to get denounced by people or to get ignored by them like a day after they attend. And then, I think that was a kind of triumph, but maybe was also kind of what's the right word here? Pyrrhic victory, I guess, or I don't know what the right phrase is. It's like MTG sucks, and she's always sucked. She's horrible.